you can only watch it for the first time once. It'll be interesting to see what we catch and what we don't.
Did you ever play the video game Mass Effect?
This is where Babylon 5 is becoming Babylon 5.
That was great. I love that.
100% completely accurate, definitive ranking of Babylon 5.
I love it so much.
We're officially into it, Jeff.
The year is 2025. The name of the podcast, Babylon 5, for the second time.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the second time. My name is Brent Allen.
And I'm Jeff Akin. Brent and I used to be Star Trek podcasters, and then we watched Babylon 5 for the first time, and that changed absolutely everything. Now, we're watching this incredible series for the second time with the lens of knowing what happens at the end, so we're going to catch all that stuff there's no way we could have possibly known the first time around.
That's right, but don't worry, folks. We are still searching for those sci-fi messages. We know you guys were breathing a sigh of relief thinking we were going to drop that. No, we're not dropping that at all. We're asking what this episode is trying to teach us. What was JMS actually saying at the time, now that we can actually look at those notes and see what was going on? So yeah, that's the things. Is there a message of hope that for the future? Is it that things could be better in the future? Is there a merit to society? How do we be better human beings to one another? That being said, because as Jeff said, we're looking for all the things that we might have missed the first time around. That does mean everything from this point forward, folks, is full of spoilers. Jeff and I are allowed to talk about anything from any point, anywhere in the franchise, any point in timeline, primary source material, extra source material. It's all fair game. So if you've not watched this show first, stop right now. Do not listen to this episode any further. Watch the series first. Join Jeff and I on our first listen. Just go back in the feed. It's right there for you. It's in the same feed. You don't have to go anywhere else. And when you catch up back to the spot, this is where you want, because trust us, you do not want to wade into spoilers if you have never seen this show.
This week, Brent, we're closing out season 1 of Babylon 5 with an episode called Chrysalis. First time we watched this one, I remember actually being a little underwhelmed with this episode. Kind of like, oh, that was an adequate season 1 ending. I liked the end with Sinclair and Sakai and kind of the nothing's going to be the same. Clearly, we were setting the table for some big stuff to happen down the road. But I think my overall impression of the episode was, all right, decent season 1 finale. Do you remember what you thought about this one?
Yeah, I think what you described is exactly pretty much what I remember thinking. I remember thinking that this episode did a lot, that it was a big pivot point for the season, or the series, I mean. It's the narrative hook has finally happened or something of that nature. I also remember while liking it that I was not as taken aback by it as I felt I should be, like it's the season finale. Like, you and I, we watch what happens. The season finale is the big episode. Later on, we would describe this as sort of JMS's formula that like you get 2 episodes prior to the season finale. And that's like your big, huge wham episode. And then the next episode is just kind of like meh. And then the actual season finale is more than meh, but not what it was 2 episodes ago. But it's also focusing on sending us into the next season. The big stuff happened really 2 episodes ago. And this one is really setting the table for where we're to come. And this episode, as I look back, I mean, it starts the trend that I think carries through in pretty much every single season. And this one sets the blueprint for how that works. And that's what I remember thinking about this episode.
So, Brent, I went back and listened to our first time episode on this one. Do you want to know what you actually thought?
I would love to know what I actually thought.
Your exact quote: "This was an adequate season 1 finale."
Okay.
You're like, yep, a bunch of stuff happened. I have a whole lot of questions on this prophecy thing, and it was an adequate finale. I thought really similar. I was satisfied with how things wrapped up and that they teed things up for the next season, but thought it was a decent ending. We talked about a little bit of other stuff. We actually didn't have a lot on this one. This was one of our shorter conversations. I wondered, I actually postulated a lot. I'm like, I think that Vice President Clark had a lot to do with Santiago getting killed. Yeah. And then when we got to the point in the episode of Clark's acceptance speech, you were like, oh, yes. Yeah, I think he had something to do with it as well. Little did we know, right? We pulled out the red yarn a little bit and tried to connect a couple things from all the background stuff, right? Like the headlines in Universe Today and other things throughout the past episodes. We noticed that, Clark got off the ship at Io, which made us believe that he was somehow involved in the assassination, which tied to the Universe Today headline from Sky Full of Stars that read that Psycor was in trouble because they had endorsed Clark. And so we figured Psycor must be manipulating everything, and they're working hard to take over all of the Earth Alliance.
Let me fit this up here, Jeff.
Right? It fits very well.
You got one too, brother. This is a shared co-crown here.
Right? We kind of nailed a lot. My just incredible quote. Like this is almost as good as your quote in the intro.
Okay.
Clark's going to be a thing.
Yeah. Astute. That's very astute there, Jeff.
I'm paying attention to these things.
That's like pro podcaster level commentary right there. He's going to be a thing.
He's going to be a thing. You many times brought up full frontal Londo.
Yeah, probably.
You just couldn't get over it. Like, you needed more processing time. Every month we hang out with our council chamber subscribers. It's a good time. And when we hung out for our May hangout, we asked a really loaded question. And we're just like, hey, back when we were just doing this the first time around, what stuff really got you fired up and mad about us? And
yeah,
I believe it was Ron. This is where a thing that he really hated a lot.
Yeah.
Was born, where we decided that we needed to kind of tease out the Star Trek-like message, and the Babylon 5, how Babylon 5 quality things were. It's led to
because
two
we were
ratings.
Definitely experts and had all the authority to declare that.
All
at the
authority.
Point.
Yeah. I mean, good God. But we didn't know how to do that, and so we decided that the Minbari had those blue arrow things on top of their heads.
Oh, yeah.
Like Aang from Avatar, The Last Airbender. And so we were going to rate it based on Aangs.
Oh,
we actually gave this episode 5. Officially, this got 5 Aangs. And that was upsetting to some people.
Yeah. That wasn't good.
No, it was not
good.
I think we came up with a much better approach to how we.
What did we go? We went Star Furies.
Yep, Star Furies.
That's such a natural thing.
Totally. Yeah.
It's such a natural thing.
I love how that all turned into white. It's a beautiful progression that happened.
Listen, I know a lot of people had a lot of problems with, and look, we were figuring it out as we went, and the definitions of what each one were changed frequently.
Right.
Hey,
Brent, I listened to the episode.
Yeah.
You read the Lurker's Guide and looked at some other stuff. What did JMS have to say about this episode? I'm going to go ahead and get comfortable. I imagine he had one or two things.
Get comfortable, because we are 35 minutes into our recording. People are like, wait a minute, but there's only like 10 minutes on the clock. Yeah, we talked a bit beforehand. Anyway, there's quite a bit. Some stuff I'm going to save during the episode, but there's some fun stories here that I really want to highlight and point out. Jeff, did you know that this episode was actually shot 12th out of the 22 episodes?
Really?
They shot this one so early.
Fascinating.
So early because of the extensive post-production work that was required. Probably is a real good reason why when we watch this episode, you and I have kind of noted Michael O'Hare's illness getting worse. It's not going to seem as bad right now,
right? As
we watch this particular episode, because it was done a little bit earlier. But JMS did talk about how he had to be really careful when he was writing other episodes to refer to things in the past tense that had not actually happened yet while they were doing this episode. Like they had to really pay attention to track that sort of stuff. This episode was first broadcast in the UK. Now, this is an important fact. I want you to remember this, okay? It was first broadcast in the UK in October of 1994.
Okay.
All right. P10 did not want to air this episode in August, which is typically a low ratings month, right? Which is when this would have aired. So they held it back and they showed it the week before the first season 2 episode.
Okay.
So they get to Quality of Mercy or whatever the air date was, and then it stops for however long the gap is, and then picks up with Chrysalis, and then moves immediately into
Points of
the
Departure.
next episode. That one right there. So a lot of people thought that this was actually the season 2 premiere, and P10 actually advertised it as such.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, thought it was. Now JMS really liked this episode. Now keep in mind, this is an earlier, so they hadn't done Babylon Squared yet. They hadn't done any of these others. But he said, I would say that our 2 best so far are still A Sky Full of Stars, or In the Sky Full of Stars, and Chrysalis.
And TKO. Yeah.
He said, I just watched a cut of Chrysalis today, which finally had all the CGI in it, and I had to scrape my brain off the opposite wall. It's that good, he says.
Okay.
That being said, Jeff, listening to the way JMS talks about his episodes, I have to imagine is a little bit similar to how you and I talk about listening to our own episodes. He really seems to enjoy his own stuff.
He does.
Like, he really enjoys his own work. And I think it just makes you want to watch the show that much more.
It's that thing we were talking about. It's his excitement makes you excited for it. You know, it's like you can tell he loves it. So I want to love it too.
He says that this episode has probably the longest and most extensive setup / payoff in sci-fi history television. Afterward, once we discover what it is, if you go back and suddenly realize there's a lot of different meaning in prior episodes. Okay, Jeff, we're on the second run now. That's what this whole run has been about, right? Is we understand the stuff in season 1 a whole lot more and in a different lens than anything else. Can you think of anything? I want to pause and ask this question. Can you think of anything that you thought it was one thing in the first time, and now watching it a second time, get here at the end of season 1, there's like, nope, actually it was not that, it was this.
The thing,
can you think of anything?
The thing that I can think of, and if it is the thing, I'm actually going to be really disappointed. But the multiple times that people told Garibaldi to watch his back, like,
yeah,
if that's the big payoff, that's lame. I mean, hey,
it's the one that a lot of people are excited for.
I know.
Like, I know a lot of people get excited about that one. Yeah. Now, knowing how the folks on here and elsewhere, meaning the internet at the time, and knowing that they knew about Laurel being a possible traitor, he figured everyone would assume that Ivanova would get that. And sure enough, a lot of people did, because they knew that she was a possible traitor. And so, of course, it's going to be Ivanova. So he wanted to make it somebody else. And that's how it came to be Jack.
Oh, that's cool.
So now he was asked a question if he would tell the actors the story of their character. Like, so you and I have often talked about, like, how much did Andreas Katsoulis know about Jakar? How much did Peter Jurczyk know about Londo's arc? Like, where were they? And he answers this question here, and I thought this was really fascinating. He says, I simply wouldn't do it. If they would ask me where their individual character was going, and some of them did, what he would give them is just the general arc, but he would leave out a lot of the specifics. For example, Peter knows in general that his character is going to go in a darker direction. Well, you know, I know what that means now. But he does not know how he's going to get there or what it means to the overall story.
Okay.
And that's, I think, is how it should be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Go in this direction, generally.
You're going in this direction. That's what's happening. But, you know, and frankly, because Londo doesn't know what's going to happen next, so neither should Peter.
Yeah.
Now, here's a story. Buckle in. Oh, speaking of Londo, here's Londo's arc through the whole story. Here's how JMS describes it. It's funny and light, and then it's funny and dark, and then it's dark and tragic, and then it's tragic and light.
Huh.
That's
kind of a circle there.
Yeah. Okay, buckle in for this one, and this is the last one I'll give you before we'll move on. Okay. I'm going to read this exactly as he says it. Every so often, a screw-up takes place that's so breathtakingly stupid that it defies all logic and reason. Do I have your attention? I just learned of one this evening, and I'm still reeling a bit from it. Consequently, this is addressed to anyone who will watch the satellite uplink of Chrysalis or has already seen it in the US in the last day or so. Once we deliver an episode, it goes to 2 places, Modern Video and CVC. CVC checks an episode of any series prior to the uplink to make sure that it's okay. Although they've had it for 4 months, because remember how early it was made, they only got around to checking it the day before the uplink. During this, they found a couple of small little audio pops. You and I know what audio pops are, right? What's it take to take care of an audio pop, Jeff? Not much. Yeah. He's like, it's the kind of thing that could have been fixed in about 5 minutes. But since it was the evening, Modern Video decided to fix it for us by rebuilding the entire episode.
What?
Which means they had to have the negatives and stuff or the footage, right?
The masters and yeah.
Without calling us, notifying us, or checking with us when we could have easily had someone on hand there to supervise it at a moment's notice. Well, when they rebuilt the episode, they didn't use the correct footage. Some of what was used was raw footage. For example, when Londo goes to meet someone in the garden, there's supposed to be a great composite shot there of the interior of the garden area and a big hedge maze. You remember what that looks like?
Uh-huh.
The UK saw this version of it last month. But when the episode was rebuilt, they used the raw footage segment showing Londo and a partial hedge in the soundstage where you see the stage wall, the pipes, and the exit sign. No composite, nada. We don't know yet what else has been included incorrectly because we won't even see a copy of it until tomorrow morning.
When it airs. Like, oh my gosh.
Suffice it to say that this is being taken care of our way overnight, and the correct version will be sent out via satellite in time for the Wednesday first airings in most markets and reruns in those markets where it's already aired. At this moment, I'm preternaturally calm about all this, having passed beyond anger into kind of having a zen state of consciousness, utterly unable to wrap my brain about the absolute stupidity of something like this for more than 2 minutes at a time.
It's too much to handle.
It's the freaking season finale. You're going to rebuild the episode?
When they had months. Did he send it to like some government agency to do it?
Rebuilding the episode. First of all, how do you have all the stuff to rebuild the episode to begin with?
Yeah, how do you have access to that?
How do you have the raw footage?
And this was some kid who just got out of college, right? And they're like, yeah, just do this thing, just really quick.
Just put it back together real quick.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh my God. I want to see that.
Somebody, right?
Yeah.
Like you do, don't you?
Like so badly now.
Because you're right. Some little kid that just got out of college worked all night on that thing.
Yeah. And to this day is like, that episode almost didn't go out good, but I went ahead and I fixed it for him.
You got a little Patrick Warburton sound to your voice there. Jeff, there are a few other things, but we're going to save them for the episode to talk about.
Sounds good. With all of that, there's an incredible amount of backing information. There's more to come. Brent, what do you say we go watch Chrysalis?
Please, let's go watch this episode.
If you're joining us for the first time, hello and welcome. If you've been with us all along or been with us for a while, so happy you're still here with us. What we're going to do right now is literally pull the episode up. Brent and I are going to watch it, and you're going to watch us watch it and talk about it all together. If you're on our YouTube channel, you're going to hear kind of the cut up version that's all edited for the honoring copyright and things like that. If you want the unedited version of this, you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Babylon5First, the number 5. And the word first, we post that up a week before it releases to everybody else.
And hey, listen, if you're joining us on the audio podcasting side of things, because this ultimately is a podcast first and foremost, Jeff, you're going to hear the audio of the YouTube reaction, mostly because Jeff and I will actually have full conversations in the middle of that, and we don't want to rehash them later.
Exactly.
We'll let you have it, and we think it's a better listen. So anyway, you guys will join us via that way, so you can at least keep up with us and hear what's happening. And be sure to stick around after, because Jeff and I will have a bit more of an in-depth reaction. Plus, Jeff, is it you or me? I don't remember whose turn it is this week.
Your turn.
It's my turn. I am going to place this and round out the 100% completely accurate and definitive ranking of season 1 Babylon 5 for the second time. So, Jeff, let's go watch an episode.
Let's do it.
Accessing file.
We take
These
unprovoked
attacks must stop.
The attacks will stop when the Centauri government stops sending hostile ships across
I
the
miss
border
these two on
into
screen together.
non-space.
Quadrant 37 is neutral territory.
You know what's
The
so,
treaty makes that
we knew they were
perfectly
so
clear.
The
amazing
non-
just from
no
this
longer
one
recognizes the
season.
treaty since it was
We don't
imposed
see them
upon
on
our people by
on screen
force.
together
There,
really
you see?
much.
I told you.
at
They
all
can't
until
be
season
trusted
5.
to abide by their own agreements.
An agreement signed under duress is no agreement at all, is it, Ambassador?
Gentlemen, please. This is getting us nowhere.
Keep this up, Shakar.
This is the last time we see Good Nataf for a while, isn't it?
I'll return when this council is ready to discuss things in a civilized fashion.
Man, those eyes are red.
I got nothing else, man. I got
Right?
nothing.
Alert medbay.
Marcus, you're not supposed to be here
I was
yet.
gonna say, it kind of looks like him, doesn't it?
You gotta stop him. They're gonna kill him.
I mean, this show's way too. It also looks like that. What's that kid?
Gonna kill who?
Scott.
Petrov.
Scott.
Petrov.
What's his name? He was in like all those stoner movies with like Jason Biggs and everybody.
It was the dawn of the third age.
Stifler.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whatever his name is.
War, the Babylon
He's got 3 names.
He's got 3 names. Yeah. And one of them is Scott. I think his last name. I think is the last one.
Sorry. By the time he got here, he lost so much blood, there was nothing we could do.
Oh, thanks for the compassion, Dr. Franklin. Right? He's dead.
Must have been something really big to make him come all this way hurting like that.
It was you.
Last thing he said was they're going to kill him.
Kill who?
I don't know. But I'm going to find out.
I think I immediately thought Kosh.
Yeah.
Mars colony on a goodwill tour of the outer planet colony.
It's a great cut, though. It's like, I wonder who he was going to kill. Oh.
That he'll give a major policy speech.
Isn't that Douglas Netter?
From the jump point on
Is it?
Io.
I think.
Look, do you want to get married or don't you?
Do you wanna?
Yes.
Such a
Do you
charmer.
wanna? I gotta tell you, that's about the way my proposal went to my wife.
Really?
Yeah. So you wanna?
July's better.
Should we?
When I proposed, it was quite elaborate.
You want coffee?
Oh, it would have been with you, pal.
Yeah, I had a piano player and everything.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
How
Get
many
sued.
gods do you think I must have offended to have ended up with Jacquard's teeth buried so deeply in my throat that I can barely breathe?
All of them?
Sounds right.
Think about what he just said.
Yeah.
It was teeth, not hands, but teeth buried so deep in my throat. That's how he kills him. With his hands.
Like true.
It would be quicker, and I suspect after a while I might even come to enjoy it.
Is this where we get the nibbling to death by cats?
This is like being nibbled to death by, what are those earth creatures called? Feathers, long bill, webbed feet. Go quack. Cats.
So great.
Cats.
Like being nibbled to death by cats.
That's so true. That's how it would go, too, you know?
I'm sorry, he's very busy. Perhaps I can take a message.
Wait, Veer, let me see.
Oh,
Yes,
look at that
I thought it
hair.
was
Yes,
you.
invite him in.
Trust the eyes, still say. You have a problem, Ambassador. I believe I can help, and I think we should meet.
I'll be there.
I don't
One
think
more
either of
thing.
us has cats,
I never
Texas. I know
got
I
your
do not.
name.
Morden.
Who was that?
Someone who did me a great favor.
So this is where. So the great favor is the eye. He went and got the eye for him.
Yeah.
Did you see Ambassador Kosh?
You never hear about it again.
We just heard about it. That's it.
Did you relay my question precisely?
He becomes emperor, and we never hear
Word
about it again.
for word.
I did.
His reaction?
Just one word. He said, yes.
That was the correct word. Dylan's like, oh my God, this is going to happen.
So, well, we had questions about this,
Wait for me.
right? JMS says, yes, we will find out what Dylan asked Kosh.
Oh.
In time, we'll find out what Dylan asked Kosh.
Yep, we do.
Here's the question. What did she ask him?
Are you what we think you are?
Council chambers?
But you know what? I don't know that they say that in an
in.
episode. I think you're right.
What did she ask?
So saying we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know that she needs reassurances.
Is it that she's the one who's supposed to be in the Chrysalis? Is she the one? The one. She's the one. Have the shadows returned to Zahadum? That was the question.
So why does he have to take the thing off? That's my whole thing.
What? Oh, you mean?
Oh, that was
that's
the
when
question.
Sheridan. He's got to save Sheridan from falling.
No.
He can fly.
We're gonna see him off screen taking her looking at him sans helmet.
We are going to see that, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Council Chambers is keeping us on thing that the question that was asked was, have the shadows returned to Zahadum?
Right.
And the answer was yes.
Right. Although, don't we find out later, it's not really that they returned to Zahadum. They were just like cicadas buried in the earth.
Yeah.
They've started to emerge again.
Kind of woke up.
But they also, like, aren't they buried, like, kind of around the galaxy, too?
Mm-hmm. On Mars.
Yeah, like they're buried all over the place. And it's like they kind of start waking up, and I guess they're flocking back to Zahadum. But Zahadum itself is like the hive.
Yeah.
Like they've still got a bunch. At least that's my impression of it.
And that's because that's where Lorianne was. They wanted to be close to him.
Papa.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's this guy. You remember this guy? He's a telepath. He does the telepath revolt thing later against Bester and Talia.
I know Petrov.
Oh my God.
He's okay.
I don't think I realized we saw him
Now
this
he's
far
dead.
back.
Yeah.
Whatever he saw, whatever he knew, scared him half to death.
And then he got stabbed the rest of the way. I like that this dude's in there, and I like that he didn't come across. There's the scene, but he doesn't come across as a telepath. He's just a lurker down below because he's doing his job, like he's underground.
Yeah, this would have been the scene. So there's like the partial hedge, And then instead of the stuff in the background, it's the soundstage wall and stuff. Here you go.
Yeah, here it is. Stand by. We'll be right back. Are you ready to take your Babylon 5 for the first time experience to the next level? With our exclusive Patreon, you'll get access to all kinds of cool stuff that you can only find there. Our recording notes, unedited reaction videos, an exclusive Discord community. And you can even be listed as a producer of the show. Plus, we even offer exclusive meet and greets and hangouts. You won't find this kind of experience anywhere else. Get all these amazing benefits, plus the opportunity to interact with other fans from around the world. It's being part of a huge community where everyone shares the same appreciation for Babylon 5. Subscribe at patreon.com/Babylon5First. That's the number 5 and the word first to get access to these incredible benefits. That's patreon.com/Babylon5First. We can't wait to see you there.
Gosh, I have great doubts. I must know if it's true. I must see with my own eyes.
Okay, stop. So the quote that we were told in council chambers, who are joining us here, is Dukat says to Delenn in the movie in the beginning, so cool way to wrap this around.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever have doubts, look into the face of a Vorlon, right?
Mm-hmm.
She comes here and she says, I have great doubts.
Yeah.
Then what she says is, I need to see if it's true. It's a little different.
So I think it's
to look to see if it's true.
Without the knowledge of in the beginning, I think that we were on the right track of she needed to see him as him to make this next decision to Chrysalis herself. But when you add that bit of context, what he's hearing is you have great doubt. I'm going to show you that it's fine and reassure you, and you will see it.
Almost feels like it's a little bit of a retcon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And it works mostly, but it's still not awesome.
Yeah, that piece where I need to see it with my own eyes. And it comes, this is where the first time around I was like, she's going to become a Vorlon.
That this, is it true? Is this what waits me? Is this, this makes all, she's going to go into this cocoon thing. We see her in the cocoon at the end. This is what she's about to turn into. Makes all the sense in the world, right?
He's whipping it out and showing his head bone. See, I got a head bone still.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of you. But
or because we still didn't know what the Vorlon was at this point. We didn't know that he was the angel thing or whatever, right? He could have been, because Jeff, by this point, I know I had certainly seen it. I'm sure you had. I'd seen pictures of Delenn with hair.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was her at the time, but I'd seen the pictures.
Oh, I did. Oh, I knew that's exactly what it was. But people, I think, also labeled it as Delenn. So in my head, what was in there was whatever she was about to become, which to me, honestly, was, and I guess it's really what it was supposed to be, the whole like hybrid of like, I think that, is that what I said? Did I say this at some point? That basically the Vorlon is like an amalgam hybrid of all the races.
Yeah, I think that's what we kind of, and that's where the evolutionary thing kind of came from. Is like,
right,
you evolved to become that.
Right. So it's the head bone with the head fan hair and the marsupial pouch and the opposable thumbs.
All in one package.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Fabio just said this and I just heard it. Listen to the sound here and listen to what you hear. You're going to hear the wings. Remember, he has wings. Listen.
Yep.
Did you hear it?
Those are definitely wings.
Yeah.
But he's not an angel to her. He's the goddess.
Minbari god thing, whatever.
Goodbye. You will not see me again.
As she goes to the temple with her dad. We hear that story. I think Confessions and Lamentations. She gave him 2 angs, one to start, one to end.
Mr. Devereaux? Security Chief Garibaldi, I'd like to ask you a few questions. I
think I wanted this guy to be something more than what he turned out to be.
I hire a lot of people. I don't have time for this.
Make time.
Yeah, in the chat, Fabio gives us the name. Valeria is the Minbari goddess that showed. And then Andrew says that they all have wings. The Vorlons in War Without End at the end had the wings. I would counter and say they don't all have wings, but in this case, the deity that they are presenting as has wings, and so they have the wings.
Well, because aren't we kind of assuming that the Vorlon don't actually have a body. They're like an energy thing, and they appear as whatever deity
that
the
we
person
see.
who's looking at it is, which is a very relativistic thing. Which is an intriguing thought, but still.
And it's very exhausting to do in front of a lot of people. But yeah, we see that in the fight with Ulkesh, Lorian, Sheridan, and Kosh, the whole thing, just this big energy thing that whoosh goes off into the thing.
Yeah, we still don't have an answer for how he got poisoned in The Gathering.
Yeah. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
What?
I knew there was more to this Devereaux guy than meets the eye. Oh? Only special agents in Earth Force security get unnumbered PPGs. This guy's name wasn't on file, and now he's gone. I don't like this, Jeff. I don't like this a lot.
And with a name like Devereaux, he should be more of an ongoing concern than Deuce.
Right?
Perimeter guard to base. Nothing to report. Sector is clear. Acknowledged.
Battle crab.
Gigantic.
Yeah, that thing is just taking out.
Is it just the one?
No.
Okay, there's a couple.
Look at him attacking the planet.
That was not good CG.
Negative.
But it was cool just seeing them and their scope.
But it made them. This may be among the most threatening they've ever felt, though.
It's the second time we've seen them. So yeah.
No, but I mean,
yeah,
I still feel very ominous.
That's the gold channel frequency for Earth Force One. Why would someone want to jam the president's? Oh my God. Garibaldi, Sinclair.
Gonna kill.
Sinclair here. Commander, we've got a problem. Ultraviolet priority. Meet me in the briefing room in 20 minutes.
This is Blue Alpha. Stand by.
You can tell he's bad because his voice went like that.
Right.
I told you not to poke around in things that are too big for you.
Yeah, well, it's a little late for that. Now up against the wall.
I think not.
Oh, Garibaldi! Oh no!
He didn't watch his back.
Nameless character did a thing. But listen to Walker Smith, man. What you get for skipping TKO? Yeah, with that shot at this point, watching this, he's dead. There's no coming back.
I thought I checked my quarters in case Garibaldi doubled back.
The only good news is it's not a knife wound.
I don't like it.
Exactly. The only true way to
call for an
die.
ultraviolet alert and then vanish unless...
I know.
I believe you recognize this.
Oh, that's pretty darn traumatic. Hey, remember this?
It glows.
Yes.
See, now I know what I'm looking at.
You remember what
First time
happened
around, I
with
still
that
had no idea what I
fire,
was
don't
looking
you?
at.
You remember being taken aboard our ship.
Only a little.
It feels like she's about to activate some hidden
I don't know what it all means.
implantation in his
Suspected
brain
as
or
much.
something.
We have a lot to discuss, Commander.
Yeah, she sounds. It
We're
feels very
coming to you.
evil.
I'm putting both our lives at risk. But there are things you should know.
Not such a happy new year for this one.
Are you sure there's no other way?
Hey, there's the thing she's been supposedly building this whole time. That
happen.
I mean, she's just placing that stuff together.
Valen said this day would come.
This is supposed to be some sort of machine or something. It's not a machine. It's just a structure.
Looks like something our kids would build for fun.
But what if you're wrong?
It's like, what do you do when you have a Lego without the instructions?
They're all different
Only-
colors,
I was
mismatched.
gonna say, in this case, it's prism tiles.
And speak well of me when I'm gone.
She's really worried. I really appreciate the intensity right here because she doesn't know. This is uncharted territory, right? It's just like blind belief in the prophecy at this point. And there's that little shred of doubt almost.
He comes. It must be soon.
Couldn't she have waited 15 minutes before plopping the thing in there?
Blood pressure 60/10.
You know, I will say, I am surprised at how long they let this storyline play out with Garibaldi.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew. This was only 42 minutes long. She doesn't have 5 more minutes.
That's a transfer point.
We're losing him. Stand by on morphazine. Let's get those injectors ready. Let's go.
I really like Dr. Franklin in emergency medicine. Like, Stephen Biggs just does an awesome job.
Moves into position, silhouetted against the surface of Jupiter. There it is.
Soundtrack's working hard right now. This is good.
The president was scheduled to begin his New Year's Day speech 10 minutes ago. So far, there's been no word from Earth Force One on the
President's
reason for the
dead.
delay. Picking up an emergency signal now. Are we still in the air?
Shut it off.
So this aired in late 1994, yeah?
October 4th, 1994.
So when we think back, it, like that sits in the middle, close to the middle between the assassination of JFK, which is going to get sort of played out, here visually in a little bit.
Okay.
And 9/11.
Okay.
And I feel like it's far enough separated from JFK that it's like it rings the memory, but it doesn't like tug on on like the heartstrings and the memory.
Okay.
We didn't know 9/11 was coming.
Right.
I feel like today, now, that scene plays so much differently. And Andrew in the chat calls out Claudia's acting as Ivanova in there. I agree. Like, I believe the people in that scene were old enough to have been children when JFK was assassinated, but the way the ISN reporter responded, the way people were just kind of stunned and sitting there, that rang the morning of 9/11 to me.
Sure.
Just that, like, oh my God, did this happen? And just the tears, the unbelief. It's just interesting to me how that's placed between two big tragedies. And I imagine that when this played out in 94, it was like, oh, wow, that sure sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, it really hit a thing for me now.
Oh, Lanier, I was going to marry you. What's Lanier crying about right now? He really was. Like, that's what he's crying about right now.
I think that right there is the moment he fell in love with her.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting theory. Go, Jeff. Talk about it.
Yeah, so, like, the courage. So right now she's played a mentor role. She's been the Ducat to Delenn to Lanier sort of a thing.
Sure.
But in this moment, she is giving herself to the prophecy and believing full well that she could not emerge, right? Like, this could be it. So I think her courage, her belief, everything that he's been trained and taught his whole life, she's actually like doing the thing. I think this is where he falls in love with her.
All right, so here's my question. Does she know what the Triluminary is going to do to her?
I don't think so.
Okay. How does she know to build this little device thing that activates the Triluminary? Because really, it just looks like a stand for the Triluminary. It doesn't look like anything else, but, I'll suspend my disbelief on that.
Right.
But
the prophecy, that's how, I don't know, right? Like,
I don't know. I really want to know what she thinks is about to happen. So what was the prophecy? Remind me. There's one who will bring balance to the Force.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. And she believes she's the one, or she's going to make it she be the one because she's going to be the one to go do it.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to sacrifice herself almost in a way that Ducat, is it really fair to say Ducat sacrificed himself? Ducat was out front. He was out front leading.
Yeah. He led. I don't think he sacrificed. He played the role of leader.
Yeah.
I think this is a thing, like, when we play this back to her saying that the calling of her heart was to serve on Babylon 5, right? And that changed the game. But was she not telling the whole truth? Like, Rethen might have known the whole truth. The calling of her heart was to explore and try to fulfill the prophecy.
Sure.
But what she said to the Great Council was, the calling of my heart it wasn't entirely dishonest because it is there. It's happening on Babylon 5.
Sure.
I think that it's, I don't think that she knows what she's going to become. I think what she knows, what she believes from the prophecy is this is a thing that has to happen to help the Minbari society grow, right? Because if we think about it in terms, like, Sinclair wrote this prophecy, he came up with it. And so he's like, hey, so you have to build this tower and then plop this little rebuilt link in on top of it, and then something will happen, something prophetical.
Prophetical?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Sure. I don't see why not.
All right.
My condolences on the death of your president. This has been a black day for both of us, Lieutenant Commander Ivanova.
Carl looks like he's about to get ready whacked in the head.
We will find
Something
whoever
coming
is
through.
responsible for the destruction of our base, and we will retaliate.
I think of all the loss
have had our
in this transport.
Troubles. I wish you luck in your own quest for justice. May the guilty be found and punished.
Ambassador, you wanted
punished
to
or have justice served? Those are different things.
Only what you asked me to do. You had a problem with Quadrant 37, we took care of it for you.
You said you had a problem? Yo, I'll solve it.
I didn't know you cared.
Check out the hook why Vera revolves.
10,000 a million, what's the difference?
Right.
Ambassador, your name is being spoken at the highest levels of the Centauri government.
So he would have filmed
They don't
this
care.
shortly before filming
With saving them from
Signs of
another
Importance.
embarrassment without
Signs of
creating
Importance.
a war in the process.
or at least right around the same time.
They
Like,
noticed you, Ambassador.
I, Morgan William Clark, do hereby swear
So this
to
right here,
uphold the law
they
of the
intentionally
Alliance
recreated the
and to
Lyndon
perform the role
Johnson
of president to the best of
photograph.
my abilities. We will begin by focusing more on the needs of our own people to sustain them through this difficult time.
Isn't that exactly what he didn't want to have happen?
And so it begins.
Right? He knows what's up. Like,
you have forgotten.
What is it? What is the it?
Right now, in this episode, in two things, the Shadow War began.
Mm-hmm.
The attack on Quadrant 37, Sector 37, and the death of Luis Santiago.
Mm-hmm.
It has begun. What do you think?
And so it begins. Okay, so let's think about what Kosh knew right now, right? Kosh knows that every so often the shadows wake up and they start sowing their discord.
And he knows they're awake. Right? He knows that they're up.
And he knows they're awake. So he knows there's another coming war, right? He knows they've been building power. He knows they've been gaining influence in other places. He also went through the whole process with Valen, right? Because this Kosh went back in time, right?
Think so.
And if he doesn't, even if he doesn't, they're all Kosh, so he's going to know.
Yeah, they know. He knows.
Okay, so he knows from the moment he stepped on Babylon 5 and he saw Sinclair, you and I are going to go back in time and we're going to fix that other war.
Well, he was the one that in the reshoot of, or the redub of The Gathering
said until Valen. Yeah. Yeah. So is it the loop begins now? Because this is going to send Sinclair to Minbar, which is going to result in all the stuff, and it's going to result in coming back for Babylon 4 and to go back to the beginning and now in a time loop. Is it setting off a time loop? Is it this next Shadow Earth or the next Shadow Vorlon war that the Earthlings are now going to be a part of?
I mean, I can see that it is the thing that kind of starts the cycle, but I think Kosh is focused on the war.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know that he is as keyed in on the loop sort of a thing. I don't know that he's as involved. You know, we don't know a lot about Vorlon society. We get exposed to two of them. You know, but like, I think it's a thing that he's aware of, knows, you know, or something, but I don't think he's like instrumental in it. So I think he's thinking more linear time in that there was a war, we've been at peace, and now the war is beginning.
So it begins, we're saying, is the Shadow Vorlon war.
Yeah.
That culminates when Sheridan screams in both their faces saying, "Get the hell out of our galaxy."
Exactly.
Now let's form communities. Got it.
Yeah.
Delenn.
He's like, oh yeah, she told me a thing.
So he and Delenn are supposed to wind up together, though.
In a version of the initial pitch, yeah.
But here he is with Carolyn Sakai, right? Catherine Sakai.
You're too late.
So maybe he and Catherine never were going to get together. Uh-oh. A literal cocoon, Jeff. I believe that's what I said last time.
Yeah, it looks kind of
literal
ridiculous.
Cocoon.
It flashed a big bright light and then wove a web around her.
A chrysalis. She is changing.
Into what?
I don't know. See, that's what, I don't know that Delenn knew what she was going to change into.
She didn't. No, I'm pretty sure she did not.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Shadow's going invisible, and then
I think he's ready. It's perfect for our needs. When the time is right, Ambassador Malari will do exactly as we wish.
That's some bad juju right there, man.
It's interesting because you can tell, like, you can see like they have the general outline of what the shadows look like, but it's like they haven't. I feel like they maybe like he hadn't quite figured out, you know, like what they were going to look like necessarily, like the little shadows or something.
Well, speaking of Lord of the Rings, it's like in the Fellowship of the Ring movie when they weren't quite sure what Gollum was going to look like, so they had him all in shadow.
Yeah.
And by the time we actually see him in real life, like, kind of looks like it, but kind of not. It kind of does, but kind of not. So
nothing's the same anymore.
Standing between the darkness and the light.
So he's got a little triangle thing going on with his little candle thing.
All right, Brent, well, that's it. Season 1 has come to a close. We just watched Chrysalis for the second time. What do you got?
This was an adequate season finale.
I know. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, yep, some stuff happened. It was all right.
Yeah. It clearly sets us up. This is all about setting up for where we're going next. That's all this is. So they needed super heavy effects on this one that forced them to film it in episode 12 slot. Okay, a couple composite shots.
Well, I think the shadows, they had to create, like, this was,
okay,
we had somewhat scenes of the shadows and signs and portents, but like we saw them in action and from a distance and stuff.
Yeah. Because we know JMS watches every single episode. Hey, what's going on, Joe? I feel like I'm disappointing him right now.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not like blown away by this episode now. Like it was fine. It was a season finale. It was like adequate sounds so poor, but it was a fine season finale. It was not Babylon Squared. It's not even in the same ballpark as Babylon Squared to me, But yeah, the Narn getting blown up really good. The shadows with Morden. That's fair. That's fair, guys. I think this is a great episode for a second watch, though.
Yes.
Because there's so many little things that you're like, well, wait, what was that? Wait, we know what this is now, but what was that? Where are they? Why is Linear crying? I think that's actually a really interesting question. Why is Linear crying? Is this where he falls in love with Delenn? That's an interesting thought, Jeff.
It's so interesting because when we watched this the first time, we were in the same spot as Linear. What's happening? What is going on? He has some religious teaching and backing to him. And we're like, what the heck is going on? We now know what's going to happen. And I think that I see that whole thing differently, knowing where it's going to go and understanding the prophecy a little bit more. And the prophecy, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think the prophecy is whatever the plot needs it to be.
Sure.
Because there's always things, what's the prophecy? Oh, it's the prophecy. It's the prophecy, which is most prophecy, right?
Sure.
I'll tell you what I loved about this, though, on top of that.
What'd you love? Yeah.
This was a 42-minute long episode. Felt like a 42-minute long episode.
Really? It felt longer to me.
Right? I thought it felt like it was great. It's paced really well, and it had so much in it.
It did have a lot in it. There's a lot going on in this episode.
It didn't. I don't think it felt crammed, or anything. It breathed. If anything, there were some parts that were like, okay, get there, but it never got rushed. I loved the space that they gave the Santiago assassination, and then following that up with that one scene that I never clicked for me in the first watch, but when Ivanova is in the tube with Natoth and Jakar, like, she's still broken. Like, you can still see it on her face, but then to think of just the level, the intensity of the loss that is being experienced in that tube at that moment, it's overwhelming. Yeah, I think there was some real brilliance to how this episode was constructed and performed. Did you get anything more message-wise out of this one?
I like this line. I'm trying to remember who said it. I think this was a Jakar line. He says, "We stand at a crossroads." Who said this? Was this Jakar?
Sinclair
talking to Natoth. It was Sinclair to Jakar. That's what it was. We stand at a crossroads, and basically he said, and we still have a chance to make a better choice. We haven't crossed it yet. We're at the crossroads. We still have a chance to make a better choice. Is effectively what he was saying. I didn't get the exact quote. Jeff, you know when the right time is to do the right thing?
The time.
Right now.
That moment.
Yeah, right now. Yeah. This is the right time. It reminds me of a phrase that we used to say back where I come from. If you ain't dead, you ain't done.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
It's never too late to make a better choice.
Exactly.
You stand at the crossroads, make a better choice. Now, what did we watch happen in this episode?
Not great
Morden
choice.
And Londo.
Yeah.
Morden and Londo. Right? Morden said, just tell them that it was all you. Tell them it's all you. Don't worry about what's getting ready to happen. Tell them it's all you. And when Londo finds out and he loses his mind, he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, just chill, just chill. And what does Morden say after that? Because Londo doesn't make the right choice. Morden says he's going to do exactly what we want. And he's gone.
And he suspects nothing.
Nothing. Delenn has doubts. She's at a crossroads in this episode. Right? Is she going to do this? Is she not going to do this? Is she going to do it? Is she not? And she gets to a spot where she has to do it.
Yeah.
We stand at a crossroads and you still have a chance to make a better choice. Basically, I'd say, make the better choice. Make the better choice. And if you have a chance to make a choice, make the better choice. How about you, Jeff? Did you get anything out of this one?
I got the opposite of a message. right? Where, I mean, there's a message in it, but the way it was is the line Londo said, there comes a time when you look in the mirror and see that that is who you are and you will be nothing more. You accept it or kill yourself.
What? Yep.
Oh my God. No,
Yep.
no. Like, my counterpoint to that line is Veer Kato.
Yeah.
That guy at no point looked at himself and said, that's all I'll be. He looked at himself and said, I can't believe that I am who I have become.
Right.
I don't like what I am becoming, but he never stopped like growing and learning and changing. And in a real way, Babylon 5 is the story of Londo Mollari, right? We've talked about that.
We've talked about that. People have talked to us about it. Commenters, our council chambers have all said it. Yeah.
But
absolutely.
the hero of Babylon 5 is Veer. He is the story of hope.
Londo is the tragic hero.
Mm-hmm.
Lanier is the
hopeful
hero. Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
And I think that in this, Londo saying that, and then Veer living it differently, from a story standpoint, that shows that. It shows that, hey, we're both heroes in this different way. But from a messages standpoint, it says, you look in the mirror and you can still see who you can be. Not that this is all I will ever be.
Right, right. I like that.
Well, this is going to be it, Brent. You've got, I hope your shoulders are feeling properly weighted
Jeff,
down.
we have a very important question.
Oh, we do?
We have to answer. Very important question. Ben over in our council chamber says, was getting shot in the back part of Garibaldi's secret mission?
Yes, it must have been.
Man, I was so convinced that there was something really super important about that.
I can't wait to rewatch.
You were too.
That.
It wasn't just me.
Oh, absolutely.
It was both of us. And I know I took the brunt of it because Golden Child Boy over there.
Right, totally.
But oh my gosh. It's another thing. Like he said it. What
100%. He's there. Hey, I got a secret mission for you. And then the shadow of the shadow comes over Garibaldi. And he's like, all right, here we go. Because he expected it. He was doing that as part of the secret mission.
Right.
That'll happen here in about a year and a half, folks. We'll get there.
Yeah, right. At this pace.
Brent, we got to round out our season 1 ranking, and it falls on you.
Yeah.
As I look at this, it is our tradition.
Yes.
To recite the top 5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure that is the correct read for this one as where you're going to place it. That said, that is what I'm going to go ahead and read off for this, and then you can obviously place where you want. Right now, our number 5 episode is In the Sky Full of Stars. Number 4, The War Prayer. 3 is Deathwalker. Pretty interesting. Those the bottom 3 of the top 5 are very early season 1 episodes.
Yeah, they are.
Episode in second place is Signs and Portents, and number 1, Babylon Squared. I will go ahead and I will prophesy that Babylon Squared will still be number 1 at the end of this ranking, but I could be wrong. Brent, where are you putting Chrysalis?
Jeff, just for the sake of discussion, I am curious. Well, first of all, we have 22 episodes a season, right?
Generally, but we did Voice in the Wilderness parts 1 and 2 as one.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, because I was trying to figure out where that got. Where did this one fall in the first round?
This was our number 5, right above A Voice in the Wilderness part 2 and right below TKO.
I like how you say that with such a grin on your face.
I love it.
Honestly, Jeff, it's in that same zone. Like I'm looking down here, Believers, and what an incredible episode that it tackles, right? TKO, incredible episode of stuff that it goes, and it's generally considered one of the worst episodes of the series.
And it's amazing. It really is.
It's really amazing.
Well, to be fair, I think it's amazing. It is a good episode.
By any means necessary, Parliament of Dreams, Quality of Mercy, Born to the Purple, Midnight on the Firing Line, all really, really strong episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start getting into Legacies and Eyes and Mind War, which is the bester episode, but still, Infection and Soul Hunter both got a bit of a glow up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Braille got a glow down, and Survivor stayed right in its very deserved spot. But yeah, when I look at this, though, I do see a big gap. I see a gap between A Voice in the Wilderness parts 1 and 2 at number 6 and Believers at number 7.
Okay.
That is a tier changing slot between the two. So the question is this is going to find its way into the top 7 now.
Okay.
6. Okay. But the question is where? Is it Babylon Squared? It's not even close. Is it Signs and Portents? It's not even close. Is it better than Deathwalker? Oh, Deathwalker is a really good episode.
It is.
The War Prayer is a really, really strong episode. Sky Full of, all of these are just so strong. And even Voice in the Wilderness, man, is a good two-parter.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think when I look at it, this one falls above A Voice in the Wilderness.
Okay.
I don't know that it goes above In the Sky Full of Stars.
Really?
That's where I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this as our new number 6. It could go. I don't think it's going to top War Prayer. So the question is it over or under Sky Full of Stars? Jeff, I'll give you a chance if you would like to stump for something. Just understand it won't impact my rating.
Right.
It's just I'm going to give you a chance to speak on it while I mull it over.
My thought on it, and we brought this up a handful of times in this second watch of there's the handful of episodes that you have to watch in season 1, right? For those who make the foolish decision to skip over season 1, because we've said it before, I will say it again. Babylon 5 season 1 is one of the best season 1s of 90s sci-fi.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is fantastic.
Yeah.
But when I think of episodes you have to watch, this is one of them. Deathwalker is not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think The War Prayer is one of them.
Oh. Yeah.
I, Brent, think that this actually belongs in our ranking in the number 3 position because this is a necessary episode. It is a well-crafted and executed episode. And it not only pays off things that happened in the first season, it still beautifully sets up things that happen in seasons 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I hate you, Jeff.
It's good. Just finally.
I hate you so much. You want to know why I hate you?
I'm so wrong.
Well, because I do this thing where like I'm walking down this path and kind of like the way JMS sets stuff up, like he's going to go down this path, but he knows where he's going to veer off later.
Mm-hmm.
I knew in this whole conversation exactly where I was going to veer off later.
Yeah.
Because I think this is our new number 3. I really do. It's a good episode.
Yeah.
It's a good episode. Is it like I said the word adequate? Like it's a good episode. You should watch this episode. It's got to be there. It is an essential episode of the top 3. Those are the 3 you got to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could do without any of the others.
Could.
Including TKO. You could do without any of them and you would be fine moving forward. This is an integral episode.
Integral and good. Like I want to be clear. And I want to riff on the adequate thing. We didn't say adequate episode.
No.
We said adequate finale.
I wish it would have been I honestly wish that Babylon Squared would have been the finale. Because that's the wham episode, as we always hear JMS talk about it, right? I think Signs of Importance was executed. I would rather watch Signs of Importance before I watch this episode again right now. This may be just a little bit of recency bias, but from a production standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, from where they've gone with this episode, I mean, the entirety of season 1 led to this episode. How many times do we see Delenn building that dang machine?
Yeah, so often.
Like they filmed this one and then led to this one.
Yes.
It's where it's got to go. And Fabio says that number 1 is Signs of Importance, 2 is Chrysalis, and 3 is Babylon Squared. Fabio is now fired because you're not going to beat Babylon Squared out of season 1. I love you, Fabio, but you're just not going to beat season 1. We could talk about it in council chambers next time. Yeah, I think this is where did we say that we placed this in the first round?
It was number 5 in the first round.
What was 4 and what was
our top 5? Mm-hmm. Chrysalis, TKO, War Prayer, Deathwalker, Babylon Squared.
Okay. TKO was your own personal thing. War Prayer's still in our top 5.
Well, if we go up, right, because it was the top 3 was War Prayer, Deathwalker, Babylon Squared.
Yeah.
All we've done is thrown Chrysalis and Signs and Portents into that mix. The top 5 is 3 of 5.
Pretty there. Yeah.
Made it across.
Yeah. This is our new number 3, Jeff.
Yeah.
It really, it is. Like, yeah, it's good. War Prayer is so good too. Oh my gosh.
So many of them are so good.
Seriously, the top 15 episodes out of the season are really good episodes. So good.
I just said it. But I just want to say it again because it needs to be screamed to the universe. Do not skip any episodes from season 1 of Babylon 5. It is an excellent season. It's not seasons 2 through 5 where episode leads to episode where things, but every single one has a level of importance. Every single one is entertaining. Even Survivors has redeeming qualities.
Sure.
If I think long enough, I'll come up with them, but they're all worth watching. Every single one. It's a great first season, and it actually really upsets me that it gets you probably only need to watch 3 or 4. No, you don't. You need to watch all 22 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, Nia says accept Infection, and watch Infection.
I despise Infection, and it needs to be watched.
I'm telling you, man, it's that 27-minute mark, and we vetted it out again this watch.
Exactly.
You hit the mark, and it was bam. That episode takes off. It's just that first 27 minutes is, you know.
And even Suzanne, even Soul Hunter, like it's awful. It is awful, but it's important, and it's actually okay. Like
Soul Hunter had a glow up on this run.
It did,
you know. So I don't know.
So Brent, that's it for season 1 and Chrysalis. Little side conversation here. Are we going to do the thing that we talked about doing next, or do we want to move right into season 2?
No, I think we should do the thing we did next. I think we need to lock that in. That is absolutely the right call.
Before we do that, been a request, and I'll read it off.
Request.
Yep.
It's a right request.
On the video, this has been displayed on here, but for our podcast listeners specifically, we're going to read the entire top 21. And again, this is when we did this the first time around, it was a top 23 because we included The Gathering. We watched Voice in the Wilderness as 2 separate episodes. This time we put them together and didn't rank The Gathering in here. So it's a top 21. So starting in 21 is Survivors, then Grail, Soul Hunter, Infection, Mind War, Eyes, Legacies, Midnight on the Firing Line, Born to the Purple, Quality of Mercy, and Parliament of Dreams. We enter now our top 10. In 10th place, By Any Means Necessary. 9th, TKO. Believers. A Voice in the Wilderness, parts 1 and 2. And The Sky Full of Stars. The War Prayer. Deathwalker. Chrysalis. Signs and Portents. Babylon Squared.
It's a solid ranking. Rankings are always hard because you always get that episode like, oh, I can't believe that episode was so low. And you're like, listen, just remember, just because it's down lower, it doesn't mean that it was bad or that we didn't like it. It's just in a ranking, it has to go in a certain order.
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones were better, like, oh, I can't believe that's way too low. It can't be that low. Yeah, it can be, just because the others were up there.
Hey,
but you got to play the game. Here's the thing. If you're going to say that, okay, if you're going to, I see, I already see it over in the chat. If you're going to comment, and I want to encourage all of you out there at YouTube and Patreon, or any audio podcasting, email us, tweet us, smoke signal us, whatever you do to get in touch with us. Let us know how you would re-rank this season. But if you're going to do it, if you're going to complain about an episode not being ranked higher, play the game and tell us where you would move it to and what changes you would do. Like, do the actual work, do the exercise, and let us know.
For the video, so if you're listening to this on a podcasting app, I'm going to tell you need to go to the video here. I'm going to put up some graphics showing the first time ranking against the second time ranking, and note on that any substantial changes. But being that we just did this, I'm not going to sit here and put it together and do an analysis while people are watching us.
Fair enough.
Do it. So I'll have, as I'm saying this and apologizing for doing the thing, there'll be a graphic over here, and it'll have all the cool stuff that you wanted to know about it.
Cool. Jeff, I have a question.
Yeah.
What are we doing next week?
Next week, Brent, we're doing something we've never done before.
What?
Yeah.
But this isn't Babylon 5 for the first time. This is Babylon 5 this is Babylon 5 for the first time on Babylon 5 for the second time.
This is going to be Babylon 5 for the never before time.
What?
We're not going to be talking about an episode of Babylon 5. We're not going to be talking about a movie. We're not going to be talking about a book.
What?
We, due to the unbelievable generosity of our listeners and viewers,
we have the best people out there.
It's amazing.
I genuinely mean that. We have the best folks out there who have surrounded us and been a part of this community.
Without a doubt. We were gifted with the scripts of Babylon 5, including the very special Volume 15. And if you
what
know,
is Volume 15?
To say if you know, you know. The actual.
If you don't, we don't talk about it.
Well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it right here next week.
Okay.
In Volume 15, among other things, it has in it the treatment that John. Wow.
John.
It has in it, I was thinking John Sheridan. It has in it the treatment that JMS wrote and pitched to Michael O'Hare to convince him to take the role. The original pitch and idea behind the Babylon series, because there was going to be a Babylon 5, there was going to be a Babylon Prime, and Brent, we're going to break it down and talk all about what could have been.
The original plan. I like it.
It's going to be exciting. We're going to do that right here next week with all of you. And after that, we'll dive into season 2. I'm excited. And so with that, please like, please subscribe, please comment, email. We love interacting. Brent just said we have the best, right? Our community is incredible. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you are a part of that community. Get active with us, right? We have an incredible Discord over on our Patreon. Again, that's patreon.com/Babylon5First. Get in on the conversations. I mean, there's cool stuff. We have our council chambers tier with us right now at this moment that are a part of this episode with us. It's incredible. Join us. It'd be great. I'd love to have you as a part of our community. If you're not in a position to support us financially and be a part of that kind of community thing you can do that'll help us out a ton and really mean a bunch is share this episode and other episodes with other fans of Babylon 5 or people who love sci-fi or all of those really cool things that we all love. So Brent, I'm going to wrap up season 1. Thank you all.
Jeff.
Yes, Brent, what's up?
Listen, so I know next week we're going to dive into JMS's original plan, all right?
Uh-huh.
I need you to pretend like you haven't read it yet.
Okay.
What would your original plan? Like you're here. You're at this moment right now. Where do you go from here? What's your original plan?
So we got, or you say we have season 1 done?
Sure. This is where you are. Okay. You know, I mean, okay, yeah. Hey, you're going to have the idea for Babylon 5. Go. You're this far into it. Where do you go from here? What happens?
So season 2 is going to start with
the wedding. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no. I'm going to let season 2 happen. I'm going to say that Michael O'Hare is leaving the show.
Okay.
And moving in that direction towards what we know will happen there. But I think what we're going to do is actually be a little bit further ahead, like we're going to move into the future a little bit. Some things will have already happened that we'll visit as it's going. But the big thing is a return to the station. We're not going to necessarily just be led by this new, hotshot captain Sheridan walking around, but we're going to have this guy who knows how to fight, who knows how to take it to the shadows, to Earth Force, to everybody. Walker Smith is going to show up, and he's going to join forces.
Jeff,
what?
Stop.
Why
Dude,
would
Walker Smith?
Yes,
is going to show back. What's he got? Jason Ironheart in tow with him.
Why not?
And they're going to team up and go mano a mano back to back and lay the smackdown out here
on everybody.
Dude, you've been in wrestling too long, man.
Indeed.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.